Alright, so yesterday the Super Eagles of Nigeria handled business against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya. It was their third match of AFCON qualification. They won it by 1-0. Fisaya Dele Bashiru in the 86th minute of the match, assisted by Moses Simon. And that now means that Fisaya Dele Bashiru has scored in World Cup qualifiers and AFCON qualifiers. So not so bad for a guy who's just in the beginning of his Super Eagles career. But the W took the Super Eagles to 7 points out of 9, the top of the group. They are 1 point ahead of Benin Republic, I believe 5 points above Rwanda and 6 points above Libya. And going into this next match, which will be played on Tuesday, the 15th of October, the Super Eagles can actually seal qualification for the AFCON. But that being said, in this video, we're going to be talking about the Super Eagles win against Libya, kind of like a post-match report that came out a little bit late. But better late than never. And we're going to be talking about the match in this one right here. But first, please make sure to like this video. It really helps the channel. Share, comment, subscribe. All that stuff helps the channel. Thank you very much. So yeah, first thing first, when talking about the Super Eagles performance, you got to talk about the starting lineup. Got to talk about how they started the game. Kind of a formation change. Not kind of, was a formation change. The coach had been playing 5 at the back with the 3 central defenders, and he changed to 4 at the back with the 2 central defenders. William Truce Ekong, Calvin Bassi were the 2. Shemi Ajayi went out the team, and he brings in an extra midfielder. So the midfield was Wilfred Ndidi, Frank the Tank Onyeka, and Alex Iwobi. And I felt like it was a great decision from the head coach. They controlled the game from start to finish. They limited what Libya was doing on the ball. Libya barely had moments on the ball. Maybe a long ball into the box that kind of looked shaky. Maybe. They really didn't have much to do all through the game. The Super Eagles bossed the game. Of course, when you get into the final third, that's where we bring our complaints. The finishing was poor at times. The decision making was poor at times from the Super Eagles. So there's a lot to be improved in the final third. And I feel like, yes, you can say, okay, coach, get that right. But these are top class players. And you just need to play with each other a little bit longer. You just got to know each other a little bit better for things like that to get better. So I don't think there's much more the coach can do than put a player in the right position. Now, when he gets in that position and doesn't do what he needs to do, I don't think you can put that on the coach. That's just my opinion. And I felt the same way when you look at Augustin Eguavon's performances. You go back to the AFCON where we lost against Tunisia. So many chances wasted. You lose by 1-0, goalkeeper mistake. I mean, how can you really just say, hey, Augustin Eguavon, it's your fault? When you look at the whole performance, you go to the World Cup qualifiers, the same thing. How can you really just say it's his fault when you have like 20 shots on goal and none of them go in? Like, it has to be, you have to look at the players when things like that happen. It's not a coaching change that's going to make that better. But I felt like everything the coach was needed for, Augustin Eguavon was present for. Him and his coaching staff, for me, did a great job in this game. Hopefully they continue. I feel like this was more of a complete performance than I've seen from Augustin Eguavon. Normally when the other team has the ball, they might get a chance and we snuff it out at last moment. But this time, I'm talking about nothing. Libya had 0 all through the game. It was like they just came to sightsee. They just came to take pictures of the beautiful stadium. They didn't really come to do anything but defend. They defended very well, in my opinion. The goalkeeper was good on the day for Libya. So you got to give them credit in that department. Now, something that deserves 0 credit but needs to be called out, the decision making by the officials at times, the referees, the linesmen. I feel like that needs to be called out, but at the same time, I also feel like we need VAR. We surely need VAR, because come on now, these are decisions that if you just have one camera at the stadium and the referee gets to see a replay from that camera, you'll be able to know that that's not an offside. You don't need 1,000 cameras. You don't need the best of technologies. I've seen VAR in all these local leagues. Like even in this country, they have one camera, they have a TV set out there, and they make the right calls. All this talk about you need this and that is just people trying to steal money, in my opinion. I apologize if that's not what y'all trying to do, but telling me that you need 10,000 cameras, you need all these facilities to do VAR, that's a lie. You don't need that much. You can't tell me that there's not a way to connect with what Super Sports is showing and just put it on the TV for the ref. Okay, now I need VAR. Tell Super Sports people, show me that play again. And it's gonna be done so fast. There's a television crew in every stadium for these matches. You can't tell me that you don't need VAR or you can't use VAR in these stadiums. You're lying. You're lying. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the Europeans, keep up with the... Look, man, we're in Africa. We got to do what it do. We got to make it do what it do. You only have one camera in the stadium, 2, 3, use those. But you can't be cheating teams like what we're seeing. This is completely a travesty. 2 straight matches that we could have lost points in the second one also. You can't just, if this does not make you change, if this does not make you look at this thing completely differently, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Because you go back to the Rwanda game, I feel like even the offside call here was a little better than what we saw in Rwanda. Because in Rwanda, we don't even know what was called. The referee just makes up a call. And things like these are happening, and you're not even, at least NFF, sir. Come on now, NFF, speak up. Put out something, a statement. What's going on is wrong. We need VAR. We need some. Because if you look at World Cups, even the biggest of games, the referees, linesmen, they make bad decisions. They go back to the screen, or it's called from above. Hey, you missed that one. That was really not an offside. Boom, the goal is given. But in our case here, the referees are left to be stuck with the bad decisions that they're making. And that's not right. So I feel like this issue comes down to the organizations. The NFF, you need to speak up. CAF, you need to do what's right, because the football is suffering. If we had gotten the penalty that really was the penalty in the first half, we score, who knows how many goals will come out of this game. But we got to be stuck just living with bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Why? It's totally unfair. It's totally unfair, and I feel like that needs to be fixed. Somebody needs to do some fixing, because this is 2 matches in a row, and what's going to happen? It's going to keep on happening until somebody does something. That's it. Now, moving on from the referees, VAR, and all that, I wanted to talk about the players and their performances. Some good, some bad. We're going to talk about the good, then talk about the bad. We're going to talk about some good, some bad, then some good. First, you talk about the goalkeeper and central defenders. Really were on holiday for the most part. They did come in to clean up at time to time. Stanley Wabali, Truce Ekong, Calvin Bassi. They came in to clean up from time to time, but I wouldn't say they were busy for any part of the game. They were really just chilling all throughout. I felt like Ekong should have, struck a free kick. That free kick that Moses Simon kicked, I felt like it should have been played short. Like Ekong used the power, and let's see how it goes. But that was just about it. That was the only time I felt like we needed Ekong throughout the game. Outside of that, they were just chilling. Then for the bad, you talk about Wilfred Ndidi. I felt like his passing was not good throughout the game. I felt like he wasn't getting stuck in it like we normally expect to see Wilfred Ndidi as a defensive midfielder. A lot of loose balls in the midfield, a lot of 50-50s that were not won in the midfield, and I felt like he could have set a tone to make sure that wasn't going to happen from his teammates. So he didn't bring it all the way like he could have, in my opinion. Also, Alex Iwobi, too many chances missed. He had a bunch of chances. You love the fact that he had those chances, but he has to put one of them into the back of the net. He has the quality. The header probably didn't get under it. The shot that he took was a nice shot. Can't take none away from that. But that volley, could have done much better with that opportunity right there. Even though it was a tough opportunity, But I feel like the player that Alex Iwobi is, he should be scoring at least one of those opportunities right there. Ola Aina, this is something that I'm not expecting even in the next game, to be honest. His final ball was not as good as I would like. A little bit too much in it sometimes. Some of them were pretty good, but he was not as consistent with his final ball like I think we're all used to. Then for the last bad or not so good, a guy that I don't think he was poor in the game, Victor Boniface.
Second half from Boniface, and then you've sort of maybe allowed AC Milan to get on the ball and play, but they were...
Boniface? Boniface!
Victor Boniface, of course, I don't think it was poor, but he has not yet scored a goal for the Super Eagles. Don't rush now. Take your time. But I felt like when he got in the box, he was not assertive enough. He could have shot the ball a little faster a couple of times. The time when he got a little lucky past the two players, ball was set up on his left, and he took just 1 second too long. The player slides and gets the ball away. Then the pass from Bruno Onyemaechi, he gets it. I think he should have just shot that. Just shoot it. We'll deal with the result when the result comes, especially when I watch Bayer Leverkusen. I've seen you score goals like that. You get the ball, you smack it first time, near post or far post. I think this could have been like a near post type situation, and I felt like he could have got a good result if he had just been assertive in that situation. But I think, of course, when you're a striker and you've not scored a goal, you've not opened up your tally for the team, it's always gonna weigh on you. And I feel like with Victor Boniface and any striker, the goal sometimes is gonna be an awkward goal. It's gonna come off, and just like Taiwan won his goal at that AFCON, when the ball just goes off his head into the back of the net. The goal sometimes is going to come like that. But when it does come, you got to continue. You got to continue. You got to continue. I feel like he's that type of player. A player that I felt like should have been nominated for the Ballon d'Or alongside Ademola Lookman. But I guess they're looking at the injury instead of what he did when he was healthy. But I know Victor Boniface is going to come out and do his thing. He's going to really show that he's a top player for the Super Eagles when all comes down. But right now, he's still finding his first goal, looking for his first goal. Hopefully he gets it sooner than later. But moving on to the good performances, starting with the man of the match, in my opinion, Bruno Onyemaechi. I felt like this past few matches have been his coming out parties. You could take a little bit of glitter from the last two performances because he had a whole bunch of big chances in those matches that he missed. But you go to this match, he created so much. Him and Moses Simon combining is just a beauty to watch. They know what they're doing. They know when to give one the ball, when to hold on to the ball. They got that understanding with each other. And Bruno played lights out yesterday, created so many chances in the game. Just from him, we could have scored 5 goals. Like, for real, he created a lot of chances in the game. And I felt like, yeah, he's showing himself. And I feel like you shouldn't lose your spot through injury. Of course, Zaidu Sanusi out with a long-term injury. I believe he should be coming back by the beginning of next season, or maybe the end of this season. I haven't looked really in a while, but I feel like this is a guy that can play in the Super Eagles left back position for a long time to come. He's a real quality player. And what I like so far is that even though he has not been perfect, there's some things that I've seen him do at club level that he has not even done here. Like, he has a great left foot that he has not shown off yet. So there are a lot of things to come for Bruno Onyemaechi, and I'm definitely happy that he's coming along like he has been. Another player to talk about, Raphael Onyedika, had the pre-assist on the Ademola Lookman goal that was chucked off. I feel like we need to see more of Raphael Onyedika. He's a quality player. He's a good midfielder. He can do the job, and I feel like he's a player that's on the come up right now. He's a player that every performance is a great performance. Every performance is an eye-catching one. So why not jump on this train? I feel like with Raphael, you got to have a midfielder that complements him. You can't have somebody that's doing the same thing he's doing. You got to have somebody that brings a little bit something different to that midfield along with him, because he's a special player. You just have to have the right compliments with him, and you'll see the best of him, I'm telling you. And moving on, Ademola Lookman, another player who was great in this game. Another goal canceled for Ademola Lookman. We're going to take this situation to court real soon, because I'm not feeling it. This is 2 goals. It could be 4 goals in qualification for Ademola Lookman. Somebody somewhere, a godfather. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, Ademola Lookman has been great for the Super Eagles. What I really love about him is the same thing I love about Victor Osimhen, what he does for his team, the off-ball work. He is just a workaholic for the team, and that's why when you see him take shots that you would think his teammates should be angry at, they're just running back, because they know what they're going to get from him. He's going to give you everything he has. He's going to work for the team. He's a great player. He has quality. So this is a top-class player that we're very lucky to have. And I'm telling you right now, if England could really do it all over again, they're not going to let us take Ademola Lookman. I'm telling you for a fact, this guy is enough to play for him right now. He could be in the starting lineup for England if they were keeping it real. But I feel like he's a great player for us. Like I said, we're lucky to have him. Just like we were lucky to have Frank the Tank Onyeka in the starting lineup yesterday. I felt like he had a really good performance on the low. A lot of people are not talking about him, but he had a really good performance, created a couple of chances. He had that nice strike, brings it down off his chest, smacks it. The goalkeeper saves. Really should have been a goal. Maybe I should have added that to what William Truss-Ekong could have done for us. That goal right there, right in front of goal, he plays it over the bar. That really should have been 1-0 right there. And Frank the Tank had a couple of other moments for me. It was the work he did off the ball. Really helped us control the game from start to finish against Libya. And another player, we got 2 more players that I wanted to talk about. Moses Simon. Nah, not just 2. We're going to talk about everybody who played, really. Moses Simon. I said it during the highlights. I said it before the highlights. Moses Simon under Augustin Eguavoen is a different prospect. That is not the same Moses Simon you've been seeing, y'all. This is a different player. Moses Simon under Augustin Eguavoen is one of the best players in the world. I'm just telling you. Don't kill the messenger. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. Now I'm moving. Don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. I'm telling you, when he's playing with this man, I don't know what it is. It's just something about them knowing each other, them knowing what they like, knowing what this person likes, what this person likes, what makes this person go, what this person needs from you. I think there's a connection between the two that brings something special when Moses Simon is on the pitch. That's just it. And I felt like he was wonderful all day yesterday. Created some chances that really should have been put away by the Super Eagles. And speaking of putting away chances, of course, Naijabiasfc scored the goal for the Super Eagles, like I said earlier. And like I said earlier, World Cup qualifiers, AFCON qualifiers. He has scored in both those competitions, so he's on a roll right now for the team. I feel like this is a player that has everything to be a star for the Super Eagles. You even go back to his goal. Before he scored, there was the moment that he gets the ball on the edge of the box. He shoots, and it goes way over the bar. And if you were in the stadium, everybody was like grumbling, like, what are you doing? But credit to Naijabiasfc, he was still looking for an opportunity to score. He was in the box when that ball was put in, looking for that chance, and he took the opportunity, puts the ball into the back of the net. That just shows you his character. That just shows you his mentality. He's not scared of the moment, and not just not being scared of the moment. He's a guy that's looking for those moments. He's looking for the big moments. He wants to be the guy that puts his team ahead. He wants to be the guy that scores that big goal. And that's something you can't teach. Now, when it comes to the other subs, of course, you had Taiwo Awoniyi and Samuel Chukwueze. I felt like Samuel Chukwueze was more involved in the game than Taiwo Awoniyi. Samuel Chukwueze had a couple of good opportunities. One that he kind of fluffed. The goalkeeper made the save, but he did have that moment. That Ademola Lookman goal, if you're going to be saying, oh, the Super Eagles should have gotten that goal, you should be also saying Samuel Chukwueze should have gotten that assist. because that was a great assist for Ademola Lookman's goal, even though the whistle went off before Ademola Lookman shot the ball. But he also did his thing in the game, played his part, had a couple of shots at goal. So I felt like that was a good performance from Samuel Chukwueze. Like I said, when I was doing the breakdown video, it's more about his club situation. He's not playing that much. That's the reason why the coach has dropped, I guess, the faith that he had in him a little bit. Then, of course, Semi Ajayi, who did not start the match. I think that was the first match in a long time that Semi Ajayi hasn't started for the Super Eagles, but he did come in late, probably had 1 or 2 moments in the game, but at the end he did do the job that he was asked to. But with all that being said, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the 3 points, and that's exactly what the Super Eagles did. 1-0 against Libya. Next match, of course, on Tuesday, the 15th of October. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Put it in the comment section. Also put your thoughts on this match in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.